Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining the Colonists. In part 1, I went through the basic movements of your first few turns and how to get the game started. The only bit I left out was this tile here, the Diplomat. When you visit the Diplomat, you can set up diplomatic relations with one of the 4 embassies that will be available from the beginning of the game. There are, however, 9 embassies to choose from. They will be dealt out randomly before the game begins. When you build an embassy, you will build the tile with the number 1 on it. When you upgrade that embassy, you flip it over to the number 2. When you then upgrade that, you will replace it with the number 3 and then upgrade to the number 4. You're not able to upgrade your embassies past the era that you are on. So in era 1, you can only have a level 1 embassy. In era 2, you can have level 1 or 2, and so on. The cost of your embassies is listed on the top of the era 1 of the embassy card. So in this case, I've grabbed the Alchemist colony. It would cost 1 tool, 3 wood, and 2 clay to build it. Once you have built that embassy, that level of embassies bonuses are available to you, and it's all in the writing on these cards and spelt out a bit more in the rule books. So to cut into the icons really quickly, I'm not going to deal with the top level of these embassies. I'm just going to deal with the level 1 of each of them, because you'll be able to read into them further. First up, the value of the embassies at the end of the game is marked over here. That is also marked on the colony tile, so you don't have to keep this one close. If you can remember what's in there, you don't get that twice. So in the Alchemist colony, you're able to, whenever you gain wood or clay from one of these types of tiles, you're able to take it as the other wood or clay. So when you go to a wood tile, you can gain clay. If you go to the Altruist colony, this one's about charity. At the start of each year, you will gain either 2 wood or 1 clay. You'll also get an extra warehouse token, which you'll put over the top of this token, which basically gives you an extra space for you to store goods. The Storekeeper colony enables you to expand your warehouse and also upgrade your other storage. So your storage shed would turn from that side to this side, showing that you've got 3 spaces instead of 2. You also get the extra card onto your board, which allows you to add 3 lots to your warehouse, which goes in just there, extending that by 3 extra spaces. The Envoy colony gives you an extra steward, so you'll have 2 stewards that you're able to move around the board. When you have more than 1 steward, you still only get 3 actions, but you're able to take them with any of the stewards that you wish. So you might take 1 with one, 2 with another, or 1 with one, 1 with the other, and then back to the first one. In the Labourer colony, you're able to put citizens onto your farms. So that's if you have absolutely no unemployed farmers. You're allowed to start placing citizens into the farmer buildings. That will get you more workers, I guess, into your colony without having to have the buildings to make it work. But you'll also need to sustain those citizens straight away, which means give them food. The Industrial colony allows you to extend your warehouse by adding this tile, same as with the Storekeeper colony. And also on the production phase, it allows you to turn 2 of your wood into a timber as well. Now there's an added bonus that the embassy looks very similar to a factory. I didn't go into the factories in the last video, but factories are marked with these 3 different colors on the bottom, meaning you can send any type of worker to them. And what they do is they add an extra resource to any of your production buildings when you hit the production phase. So if I had a green farmer, sitting on this particular card. When I got to production phase, instead of producing 2 wood, this building would produce 3 wood. On the Scholar Embassy or the Scholar Colony, that enables you to, on the production phase, to draw 2 more of the improvement cards, which are these cards. I don't think I called them what they are. They're called improvement cards. Draw 2 of these and keep 1. It also allows you to, when you visit the librarian, to draw 4 and keep 2. If you have the trader colony as one of your embassies, you add an element to the market. So whenever you send your steward to the market, instead of one of these 3 options, you also have the option to, on level 1, to trade wood for clay, clay for food, or other way around obviously, and food into wood. And finally, the Lord Colony's embassy allows you to ignore the actions of any hex that you go into, and instead you can gain a wood or gain a clay on level 1, and obviously that gets heavier the further down you go. That's just the beginnings of it. I haven't gone into the any deeper on those colonies because I'm just worried about getting Era 1 onto the table and playing, because once you've played through Era 1, it just makes sense and everything rolls really easily. The other thing I didn't really go into is the end of year phase. So once you've played the second half of the year, you'll do an end of year phase. On the end of year phase, everyone will gain 3 tools. That's in this little marker here on the smithy. Plus, obviously, these buildings produce whatever's on there. That's all after you have fed your workers, which I did speak about in video 1. So I'll give you the actual order of how things work. First up, whoever has this marker becomes the new start player. We add the new places, which I did talk about. Then we redistribute the colonists, which means basically if you have someone that you have on a building working and you don't want them to work there anymore, send them home. If you've sent that colonist home, you're not going to be able to produce these in the produce phase. Then we go to the sustenance, where you need to check against how much food you're able to produce within your colony compared to how many workers that need food are actually at work. Farmers don't need any food, citizens will need food, and merchants, which are the red guys, will need 2 food and a robe. That will only come in from Era 3 onwards, so we don't need to worry about that at the moment. And then once you've done the sustenance phase, we do the production phase, where we gain the tools and any things that the buildings or improvement cards are giving you. You know that sustenance phase is going to happen on a card because it will have this little circly arrow indicating that's a sustenance phase a card. Before the game starts, you should decide on how many eras you're going to play, and when you get to the end of that era, that's when you'll score. So you can play through all 4, but it's up to you how many you play. Choose before you start rather than waiting till partway through, because some people will be winning at that point and be obviously wanting to finish early so they can win. Some will be dragging behind. You need to know what your goal is and how long you have to achieve it. So I'll leave that there. I hope this helps you get the colonists to the table. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be gamesplayed, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter to see what games I've been playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.